Dubai Billionaire addressed a message directly to Donald Trump, warning that escalating tension in the Middle East could threaten decades of economic development. In fact, some of his comments about geopolitics, banking, global politics, and about the danger of an overheated real estate market have been extremely controversial.
I would have been asked, which is a priority to you, your family or your work? Of course my work is a priority more than my family. Because your family, they don't want you unless you are going to work and feed them and give them money. Otherwise, they know that if you have a wife, she doesn't want you if you don't buy her something. We want to take the 5% VAT out. It is not the time to charge VAT. I am ready to pay income tax from the profit, right? Like anywhere else, but not to take from the revenue.
This video will not be about geopolitics, but about Khalaf Al Habtoor's role within Dubai's business community as a representative of the old school who sometimes goes against the developer consensus and publicly criticizes the market. Khalaf Al Habtoor, the founder of Al Habtoor Group, one of the oldest private developers in the UAE, estimated net worth around 3 to 4 billion US dollars. In business since 1970s. Some of his key projects include Al Habtoor City, Habtoor Palace Dubai, Hilton Dubai Al Habtoor City, Al Habtoor Polo Club, Waldorf Astoria Dubai Palm Jumeirah. The group has also made major investments in Europe and the United States. Today, the estimated net worth of Khalaf Al Habtoor is around $4 billion. But the journey to this success started back in the 70s, when at the age of just 21, he founded a small construction company called Al Habtoor Engineering. Al Habtoor did not follow a traditional academic path. Instead, he entered business early and built his career from the ground up, and this is what made him a first-generation self-made businessman. In Dubai of the 70s, there were no skyscrapers, no global tourism industry, and very little international capital. It was a crucial moment in the region's history. United Arab Emirates were formed in 1971, and the country was entering a massive infrastructure and development phase. Over the time, the construction company of Al Habtoor grew into a diversified conglomerate. Today, Al Habtoor Group operates in several sectors: real estate, hospitality, automotive distribution, education, and international investments. Al Habtoor belongs to what many call the first generation of Dubai's private business elite, entrepreneurs who helped build the modern Dubai. One of the most visible projects associated with Al Habtoor is Al Habtoor City, a large mixed-use development located on Sheikh Zayed Road right next to the business bay. The project includes 3 hotels and 3 residential towers. The development cost is estimated as around 1.3 billion US dollars. Another landmark property is the Waldorf Astoria in Dubai Palm Jumeirah, one of the luxury resorts on the Palm. Internationally, Al Habtoor Group has invested in Europe and the United States, including hotel developments in Hungary, Austria, and the United Kingdom. But beyond hotels and towers, there is another project that reflects Al Habtoor's personal interests. In Dubai land, the group developed Al Habtoor Polo Resort Club. The project covers roughly 6 million square feet and includes professional polo fields, horse stables, luxury villas, and a 5-star boutique resort hotel. Polo has long been associated with global elites and high net worth circles. For Al Habtoor, the sport became both a personal passion and a part of the group's hospitality strategy. Members of the Al Habtoor family and their relatives are regularly seen participating in polo tournaments and equestrian events across the Gulf region. The Polo Club hosts regional championships, international tournaments, elite social events. In many ways, it represents the intersection of sport, lifestyle, and business networking. Unlike some regional business dynasties, where family members stayed mostly behind the scenes, parts of the Al Habtoor family are active in public life. Several family members are involved in the group's activities, although Khalaf Al Habtoor remains the central figure and public face of the business empire. The next generation participates in hospitality management, international investment projects, social and cultural initiatives linked to the group. His sons hold leadership roles within Al Habtoor Group, particularly in the hospitality sector and project development. What makes Al Habtoor unusual is that he frequently comments on political and economical issues. In the Gulf region, many business leaders prefer to avoid public controversy. But Al Habtoor has taken a different approach. He often writes posts on social media or gives interviews discussing geopolitical tensions, economic sanctions, and regional stability. For example, he has argued that economic conflicts and sanctions can destabilize global trade. He has also criticized excessive banking bureaucracy. These comments resonated with many entrepreneurs who had experienced increasing regulatory complexity in international banking. Within Dubai's real estate sector, Al Habtoor is often seen as representing an old-school developer mentality. Unlike some new developers focusing heavily on marketing and rapid off-plan sales, his business approach emphasizes long-term assets, hospitality infrastructure, and reputation. In several interviews, he has warned that markets need discipline. Rapid growth alone is not enough.
Isn't there a responsibility of the government, of Nakil, of Ima, of Meras, to pull back on the level of development that they are doing in retail, in construction?
I have told them already. I have announced that and I have said that in the social media, and I wrote a letter to the official, to the government, that the government company must stop. They have to stop even in the area where they are progressing on the construction, because, leave with the people to work and to complete. Now the problem is these companies, and hopefully they will listen.
Real estate cycles inevitably include expansion, stabilization, and cooling period. And the experienced developers tend to think in decades, not quarters.
And these people to say, stop, enough is enough for expansion, because we don't know whether they are making money or not making money.
Interestingly, that the first generation of Dubai developers rarely appear among today's richest billionaires, unlike some of the new real estate players such as Hussein Sajwani, for example. Why is that? Developers of Khalaf Al Habtoor generations build their wealth very differently from many of today's real estate entrepreneurs. The Al Habtoor Group is not just a developer. It's a diversified conglomerate with businesses in construction, hospitality, automotive distribution, education, and international investments. That model tends to be more stable, but it rarely produces the explosive wealth growth seen in some newer real estate companies. In the 2000s, Dubai's property market introduced a new model, off-plan sales. Developers could sell apartments before construction even began. Buyers' payments effectively financed the project themselves. This dramatically increased profits for many developers. But businessmen from the old generation, like Khalaf Al Habtoor, built their companies long before the system existed. Their projects were financed through bank loans, private capitals, and long-term investment strategies.
Do you want to borrow to fund this expansion?
I will put money and borrow money.
You put money and borrow money.
Yeah.
In other words, earlier developers built hotels, infrastructure, and tourism assets, while many modern developers focus primarily on residential towers for investors. It is a small detail, but it shows how much Dubai's economic model has evolved over the past few decades. Let's come back to the message that Al Habtoor addressed to Donald Trump.
He's the first right now to be speaking out against this war and directly to President Trump.
You cannot take everything by force. You cannot take everything by war or to destroy countries. Of course, I'm against Iran, 100%. 100% I'm against Iran. But I will not do this, because what's happened to Iran has damaged every country.
The key points of this message: the danger of escalation, the risk for the region, and potential economic consequences. Because Dubai's success depends on stability. Why Dubai is particularly sensitive to geopolitical tensions, I think is obvious to everyone. It is a global financial, transport, and international investment hub. The system works as long as capital perceives Dubai as safe. And the UAE worked on building this reputation for decades. Recently, I made a video about how financial hubs fall when political instability comes closer, and I spoke about Lebanon that used to prosper back in the 70s. But it came to an end. Well, Khalaf Al Habtoor knows what happens when a financial hub loses investors' trust. For many years, he invested in Lebanon in real estate, the hospitality sector, bank deposits. But after the financial crisis of 2019, the banking system in Lebanon froze depositors' funds. Foreign investors, including Khalaf Al Habtoor, were unable to withdraw their money from the banks. Al Habtoor was quite outspoken in criticizing the situation. He stated that Lebanon had lost the trust of international investors. One of his well-known remarks was, "Lebanon was once the Switzerland of the Middle East. Today, it has lost the trust of investors." Al Habtoor's message was not just a political statement, it was a reminder of something fundamental. Dubai's success is built on stability and investors' confidence. Dubai's transformation over the past 50 years is one of the most remarkable urban development stories in the modern world. Entrepreneurs like Khalaf Al Habtoor were part of the generation that helped build that transformation. And when someone who has spent decades inside that system speaks about stability, markets, and geopolitics, investors tend to listen. Because cities don't become global hubs overnight. and they rarely change course overnight either. They evolve slowly through the decisions of investors, businesses, and the people who build them.
To our government, because our government cannot do everything without us, and we cannot do everything without them.
Thank you for watching, share your thoughts in the comments, and see you in the next video.